by letting you see just a little bit of what we did last week. So I'm going to ask all the participants in here to stand up. And we're going to start back with Linda in the back corner. And our Facebook Live is going to follow all the way down this way, up, and all the way back. And what I want you to do is you don't have to say your real name. You just say I, and then tell us the name of your mask. And you guys can all watch as he goes. So Linda, when you're ready, you start really loud.
I'm Aquaman.
All right.
I'm Samurai.
All right.
I'm Power.
I'm Daisy.
Psychosis.
I'm Water Dragon. Angel in the Snow.
Introverted and lonely.
I'm Azteca.
I am El Diablo.
I'm Fire and Ice.
I am Miss Sunflower.
I am Princess Charlotte.
I'm Lulu the cat. I'm Nancy.
I'm Susie the Shaman.
I am Soul.
I am Bluebird of Paradise. I'm surprised to be here. And then just go back.
Down on the end, I'm Thundercat. All right, let's give ourselves a round of applause. All right, we're going to get our Facebook Live back over this way. Patrick, and he's going to give us some more history and some culture about the mask, and then tell us kind of what we're going to do today.
I am impressed. As you guys hold up your mask, they're very beautiful and they're very well done. I do want to say this morning I was working on masks at my studio. When you make masks, there's a whole lot to do as you're figuring out. And so as you make your cardboard mask, be sure and be aware of the fact you can punch 2 holes on each side with a hole punch and get some ribbon and get about this much ribbon. You can make your mask fit around your head with ribbon. And it's a lot more fun than using the pipe cleaners. I use pipe cleaners with kids. So today, be sure and fix that up. Do you have yours? Where's your other mask we put the ribbon in today? Yeah, just hold it up. Yeah, both of them. We just put ribbon in that and it looks a lot better for your mask. Other one. In the pocket. So be sure and put this, do this to your mask today so it looks really good. Okay, you did a wonderful job of painting. I can tell that everyone in here has had some experience in painting and is doing a very good job of making the cardboard mask colorful. What we're going to do today is take a new step because we're going to stop the cardboard mask making and step into actually making. There are tons of leather masks on the internet. There are leather mask makers all over the world. And they all put their mask on the internet. So you can see a lot of different kinds of leather mask makers if you just punch leather mask making on the internet. It's a very fun art, and a lot of artists use it. It is a challenge because it's different than cardboard. Number one, it's a little more difficult. You have to use an X-Acto knife. Now when you're using an X-Acto knife, be sure and remember when you set your leather down to cut with, that you cut like this, coming toward yourself, and you keep your hand above the X-Acto knife, so you don't cut your finger off when you're using the X-Acto knife. And always use a sharp blade. A dull blade you pull on, and you can cut yourself easier with a dull blade than with a sharp blade. Leather likes a sharp blade. It cuts very good with a sharp blade. So be sure to remember that today. So watch how you use your X-Acto knife. Okay? Now, what we did last week, if you remember, and I made your first leather mask. I gave you one that had been molded. Before how I made that mold, I want to be sure to show you the European mask, because we are focused in this workshop on medieval and Renaissance masks. And so I went over to Venetian masks today to take a look at all the different kinds of masks you can buy in Venice. And Patricia has one that she actually bought. Can I show it? This is bought in Venice. And I looked at this, and this is cooked leather. What they did is they made the mask with the rough leather like you have, only this is 3-ounce leather, you have 4-ounce leather. It's a little thinner. This kind of leather will not hold up unless you cook it, because it will collapse. The leather you're using is just strong enough that you don't have to cook it to put it on your face. And so they made this mask and cut it out of leather, and then they cooked it. And it's good and hard and painted. And when did you buy this? In 04. Beautiful. And it's Venetian. Then someone brought another mask. Well, hold that one up. This is a very beautiful leather mask, and it's all shaped and carved with the leather. Again, it is a little thinner leather, 3-ounce, and it's shaped. The artist put the leather together, and then he folded the leather with his hands to create the curves. A lot of artists do that. They create curves with their leather and sculpt with it. If you remember the rhino mask I had last week, I sculpted that with red leather. That's how I built that. So with us, the first mask we're going to make is made out of about 4-ounce leather. It's a little thicker than 3-ounce. When you cut it, you won't have to bake it. It'll fit your face okay, and it should work for you as a good mask to start. So you should have your piece of leather with you, and we will start thinking about how to make that. First, I wanted to show you how you make one of these masks. So I took water. Hot water is good. Leather is skin. You must remember you're working with skin. Skin is organic. So I had a person look at me and say, "Patrick, you make organic art." I do. When I make leather, you're making organic art. And I have a piece that I molded. This right here. But I'm going to take it and put it in the water and just push it down like this. And the hot water is now absorbing into the skin. It's going to absorb just for a few minutes. You don't have to leave it very long. It's not like watercolor paper. You can take it right out. When I take it out, right here is a mold that I made of a face. Now I used my face for the beginning of this mold. Because I'm a sculptor, I cast my face a lot. And so I decided to take a clay mold of my face and make a clay mold and make a plaster casting of that face mold. Now that I have the plaster casting of the face mold, I have the nose right here. The key to the mask is this area right in here in the face, because this is where people like for it to fit. And I'm going to take the leather and see how it, if you wet leather, see what it does? It collapses on you. So be aware of the fact when you make your mask, you don't want to wear it in the rain. Okay? And I'm just going to take the leather and push it right where the nose breaks, right here. The leather will not cast a nose. It's too tough, this leather. So I'm just going to push it with my finger and then hit it down with my hands. Now I've pressed the leather into the mold pretty good. I'm going to take a couple pieces of paper and put them right in here. Push it a little more. Now the leather's pretty wet right now, so it's going to collapse when I pull it out. But when I pull it out like this, with that under it, see the nose that I picked up? And I'll just set it right here with the paper under it, shape it a little bit. Now what I'm going to do is let it dry overnight. In the morning, it should be dry enough to make a mask with. And that's how you do it for making the leather. Now you have an extra piece of leather. Some of you have been telling me you want to use that extra piece on the mask that you're making today. That's fine. I have some other pressed leather masks for you for next week, if you need to do that. If you're not going to use that extra piece of leather to put something on your mask that you're making today, then I want you to go over to this table over here, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 molds. And you can use this hot water and just make yourself a pressed mask like this, and we'll set it aside. And at the end of the session today, you can, when you stack your box, you can put your stuff in the bottom of the box and put your wood piece over that and set your mask right on it, and it'll dry and be ready for you for next week. Because after we do this mask, we're going to do a full face mask. That'll be our next challenge. I'm sort of progressing you into mask making. I have a progression over here. Progression 1, I made a simple spider mask for a kid's play. It's right here. And this kid's play is a Chickasaw play. I'll be using this mask with the kids in a couple of weeks. And it just goes on like this. Ah, it's spider. What is going on? Oh my. Who are you guys? Gonna have to make a big web, I can tell. Now this mask, I just cut, very simple, out of the leather like you have. And after I cut it, I let it dry. Then I painted it with acrylics. And I decided to add beads to it. So I punched little holes in the leather, and I took some cord, and I attached each bead, and then I hot glued the bead back here so this doesn't slip. And I put some tape over it so it's working. This mask is all finished. I put my signature on it. I did all this morning because I have a show coming up I was going to invite you guys to. And it's coming up first Friday on the sale. This mask is what you can do with a mask if you don't want to wear it all the time. You can go down to one of the hobby stores and buy yourself a nice little recessed frame like this. And they frame real quick. This mask I just pinned up with a pin here and a pin here. And on this mask, I cut 2 circles and stitched them together, put them on top of the leather that I cut out. And I decided I didn't want to wear this mask. I would rather have it as an art piece and then put it in my house. It's my Irish pagan mask. There's a little bit of a pagan in me. I try not to get a hold of it too much, but you know, it's still there. It's been with me my whole life. It's just the way it is. So I thought I'd recognize it and honor it. Put it in my house. It needs to stay at home. Here's a mask I made many years ago. And this is, I call it my moon mask because I love the moon. And it's soft like the moon. And you can see, I used a lot of leather on this mask. And I took the back and I used refrigerator tubing to shape it so I can actually put it on. But it's I wear when the moon comes out. I go out in my backyard, light a fire, and worship the moon. So, I think what we need to do is begin to think about what you're going to do with your leather mask that you have now. Now remember, we're talking about Middle Ages, and we're talking about the Renaissance. And so as you look at what we had up here, the Renaissance, oh man, in France, they had those kings, you know, that were not very good to their people, but they had these private parties that were bizarre, full of elegant kinds of masks. They made all kinds. And at the same time that was going on, the people up in northern Germany, Austria, they were making more medicine kind of masks, powder. So there's a lot of variation of what's going on in Europe during the Renaissance as far as different kinds of masks that were being made. So guess what? You have a broad sense of what you want to do with your mask. And I've seen already that a lot of you already have some great ideas. So I think maybe we should go to work. Are you ready? Now you will have to cut. Yes. You ready? Okay, let's start our working and let's see how you're going to work with those X-Acto knives. What's that? I can't hear you.
Say goodbye to the Facebook people.
I do want to say goodbye to everyone that's watching on Facebook. And I will tell you right now, I'm teaching at a school with 500 students. And I'll be sure and be announcing Monday that I'm on Facebook. So I'll get a lot of users. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy. Let's go to work.